Hey everybody, I did not want to let today go by without remembering to send out the video I promised you on one of the examples that we did skip over when we were meeting on Monday. The example in question here is under the section entitled Factoring Polynomials in Quadratic Form. And I kind of laid this one out. I actually worked out through most of it and then just kind of stopped because I wanted to give you all time to look at other problems. When we're talking about factoring polynomials in quadratic form, quadratic means that the highest power is 2. It cannot be a quadratic without having the highest power of the function being 2. So if it's a degree 3 polynomial, it's not quadratic. When we look at this one, it's a degree 8 polynomial, so it does not appear to be quadratic in nature. But the first thing that we did on Monday that I pointed out was we did factor out the greatest common factor of all three terms. And in this case, the greatest common factor is going to be 2x squared. And so when we factor that out, we have 2x to the 6th plus 10x cubed plus, or sorry, not 10x cubed, that's going to be 5x cubed. Plus 6. And you all aren't here to correct me. That's going to be x to the 6th. There. So we factored out the greatest common factor. And now when we look at what's inside the parentheses, it still doesn't appear to be quadratic in nature because it's a degree 6 polynomial. We have brought it down, but it's still not quadratic. So this is where I introduced that concept of introducing a new variable. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate a new variable that will replace this x to the 6th and make it a quadratic term. So what I would like to do here is I'm just going to let u be x to the 3rd. And the reason I chose x to the 3rd is because there are two x to the 3rd powers contained within x to the 6th. So when I rewrite this, I now have u squared, because x to the 6th can be written as x cubed times x cubed, which is going to be u times u based on our new variable that we introduced. So that will give us u squared plus 5, and this x cubed, we've redefined it now. X cubed is equal to u plus 6. And I'm just going to put a box around this 2x squared to keep note of that for right now, because we are going to bring it back as part of our final answer. When you look at this u squared plus 5u plus 6, this is quadratic, and we can factor it. And it's going to factor nicely into u plus 2, u plus 3. And now we have completed the factoring of this polynomial, but we have to return back to our original variable, which was x. So when we come back to our original variable, this is where I said I'm going to put the box around 2x squared. I have 2x squared. U plus 2 is going to be x cubed plus 2, because I'm replacing u with the definition or the defined value that I set up originally. And then we have u plus 3 will become x cubed plus 3. And this is our final factored form. I should not have chosen blue for that. But this is our final factored form of 2x to the 8th power plus 10x to the 5th plus 12x squared. That u substitution will become very useful sometimes. It's not necessarily that you're going to use it all the time, but if you want to try to bring a quadratic or bring a polynomial function down to a quadratic that you can factor easier, it will prove to be useful. There are going to be a couple of those on the assignment that I would like for you to consider trying to use that on. If you get stuck with it, please let me know, and we'll definitely sit down together and take a look at it. But We will meet again, of course, tomorrow, and we're going to finish up going through those factoring and solving polynomial equations. And I hope you guys are doing great, and I will talk to you tomorrow.